Hi, what's up, y'all? What's poppin'? What's cracking? It's D, about to react to this vid by Lovely TTV. So, your boy Champagne Poppy has resorted to suing because he lost in the rap battle. So, he's suing people now. It says Drake sues UMG and Spotify for artificially inflating Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. UMG responds, oh, they have something to say. And also, it's come out that Drake has filed a second lawsuit. So even after this video that she posted, he filed a different lawsuit. So we're gonna get an update on that as well and see what he has to say. But let's watch.
Hey, tea sippers, I hope you guys are doing good this evening. So it is currently going down, okay? Drake is in his feelings, honey,
In
like
his
Kiki.
feels. And it's so funny because his fans swore up and down, oh, Drake ain't tripping off of this. Y'all think that he's stressed out somewhere and crying in the corner. He ain't worried about this at all. He chilling, living his life. And even some of his associates came out basically implying the same thing. That was not the case, clearly. Clearly, this man was as stressed as people assumed he was. Because if you so unbothered, you're not filing multiple lawsuits after you lose the rap beef. Because if you won, you wouldn't have been filing no lawsuits. Let's be clear. Let's call it what it is. So you clearly was bothered when you were trying to post all these selfies and trying to make it seem like you wasn't. And you're salty because you lost. Because if you won, you wouldn't be suing nobody. But because you lost now, it's time to sue, pals. I'll see you in court, pal. That's the energy he giving. Get out of here. We don't want to get copyrighted.
Currently in his feelings like Kiki, honey. So if you guys do not know, it was announced earlier today that Drake is currently suing UMG and Spotify. He's saying that they basically cooked up a scheme to artificially boost Kendrick Lamar's Not Like
plot
Us
that
song.
Todd
Okay?
did.
So this is not a scheme cooked up by Todd.
It could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
He's saying that this is a scheme cooked up by UMG and Spotify. Now, what's very interesting for y'all, unless you've been living under a rock.
Whenever I hear the word scheme, I always think about that moment.
On November 22nd, Kendrick Lamar dropped a surprise album called GNX. And Kendrick Lamar wanted all the smoke, okay? When I tell you he chose violence, bitch, you would have thought it was Game of Thrones, okay?
I choose violence.
So anyhow, what went down is that he dropped this new album, and on the surprise track, he was calling out a lot of folks, but still trying to be respectful, right? So in his opener, the song called Whacked Out Morals, he basically says, I'm gonna kill them all before I let them kill my joy. Because as we know, a lot of people in the industry have been throwing, low-key shade, or I should say high-key at this point, at Kendrick Lamar.
Very high
It
key.
seemed like I've been saying this all summer. It was the people who were really supporting, this beef, this back and forth. It was not so much the guys in the industry. You had people literally shading him for doing what he's supposed to do as an MC. He went at Cole for basically stirring up the beef in the first place and then backing out in the lamest way possible. He called out Snoop Dogg and said that, Snoop Dogg had to be, high off edibles to even promote Drake's AI diss track. And then,
But the jabs he took at Cole, I feel like they little baby jabs. It's nothing too crazy.
he said that Nas was really the only person who congratulated him publicly, which is very true. And he kind of addressed the criticism that Lil Wayne was showing towards him. He didn't diss Lil Wayne, but basically said, damn, Lil Wayne is not happy for me for getting this Super Bowl appearance. So after that song went viral, Lil Wayne decided to respond on social media, and this is what Lil Wayne said. Lil Wayne says, man, what the F I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take my kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep, I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy.
You are already destroying yourself. That's why they didn't pick you for the Super Bowl. Let's be clear. You know what? I fuck with Wayne, but let's shut the fuck up. All right, let's do that.
If disturb on me, love. So when I seen that, I had to jump in the shade room. I tend to, keep to myself, but I was surprised I had so many likes towards my comment. But I got in the shade room and I wrote, the industry just needs to admit that they dislike Kendrick. The hate he gets from his contemporaries make no sense. This wasn't a diss, unlike Lil Wayne, who went from platform to platform to complain nonstop about not being picked to perform at the Super Bowl.
Period.
He threw the shade first, now he wants to play victim.
Period.
So of course I had a lot of replies. I wasn't going to go back and forth with a bunch of Drake fans, but I did reply back to one user and I said, I've noticed ever since the beef with Drake, celebs, many in the industry were siding with Drake or trying to downplay Kendrick's talent. I saw the shade from Lupe, The Game, Cameron, Jules, 50 Cent, Russell Simmons, Questlove, and many others. Even though Wayne didn't say Kendrick's name, we all know what he was saying loud and clear. He felt Kendrick didn't deserve it over him and used him being from NOLA as the excuse. Not to mention he's Team Drake because Drake was signed to YM. So it's definitely good dialogue. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to step up in the shade, women pop my shit every now and then when I feel the need to. But anyhow, I felt like there was definitely some things brewing, definitely some things amiss. Now, Snoop Dogg did come out and admit his wrongdoings, okay? And he basically shouted out Kendrick's new album. So Snoop Dogg said the following. He says, K-Dot's new album, GNX, fire. It was the edibles, West King. So he admitted he was high as hell when he had promoted Drake's AI song, okay? And then Chris Brown showed him love as well. Chris Brown says, K-Dot album, fire. So everybody has been basically listening to GNX. And what was very interesting is that earlier today, a video went viral of Drake, and he was with a streamer. So the streamer's name was XQC.
Yeah, we reacted to this already.
Okay, and it talked as how to be more like Kendrick for dummies, okay?
Oh, wait. I reacted to this music video on my Patreon, by the way. Check it out.
And that video is so damn West Coast. Kendrick went hard. He's even a still shot.
So West Coast, okay? I did a little quick breakdown. About the history of California and why, what he did is so important and so respected.
Of Kendrick Lamar sitting in the chair, and the book that he's reading says How to Be More Like Kendrick for Dummies, okay? So once again, throwing shots at the industry. The video's been up for 8 hours. It has over 2 million views. It's #1 on trending right now on YouTube. So Kendrick Lamar is definitely having another moment like he did 5-6 months ago, but Drake is not feeling it. And so now that Kendrick Lamar is getting more momentum, he's calling out,
so let's shut this shit down.
Some shots at J. Cole. This album is fire. Drake decides to come up with this lawsuit, and so I'm going to go ahead and read this lawsuit to you, okay? So this is what the lawsuit says. In a pre-action petition filed in Manhattan federal court on Monday, Drake's Frozen Moments LLC accuses UMG of engaging in illegal schemes that involved using bots to boost Not Like Us's
But isn't it known that they both use bots?
Popularity on Spotify and making covert payments to radio stations to increase the song's airplay via Billboard. Drake claims to have inside sources who informed him of UMG's scheme. UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices, attorney for Drake's company wrote in their filing. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services in airwaves. Originally released on May 4th as part of a series of a back and forth diss track between Lamar and Drake, the track proceeded to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100s and became the fastest rap song on Spotify to accumulate 700 million streams and recently earned 5 Grammy nominations, including Record and Song of the Year. Drake and Lamar both maintain active associations with UMG through its subsidiaries. Drake is signed to Republic Records, while Lamar distributes his music via Interscope. According to Drake's attorneys, the alleged motivation behind the scheme to promote Not Like Us was partly driven by the desire of executives at Interscope to maximize their own profits, okay? So Drake is definitely in his feelings, honey. So now UMG is speaking out against Drake's claims, and this is what they're saying. The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue, the rep said. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans chose the music that they wanted to hear. And like I said...
They said be mad at the people who was playing it. Don't be mad at us. These are authentic. People love this song, and they did.
From day one, it was the fans that were supporting this Not Like Us. It was not the industry. It was the people, and the people had spoken. Now, it's very interesting that Drake is in his feelings, and he's mad, and he's accusing UMG and Spotify of using bots. But let's keep it real. How many times has Drake been accused of using bots anytime he's dropped his album?
I gotta pee. Sorry, I was holding that for a minute.
Remember when Scorpion came out, a lot of people were upset because they were being flooded with Drake's album all up and down Spotify. One of the comments says this: anyone else upset at Spotify's Drake spam the other day because, like, laugh my ass off, I pay for this, I don't want ads for a rapper. Remind me again why I pay for ad-free version of Spotify when Drake's spam is out of control. Somebody else says, hi, I pay for a subscription to Family Spotify. I feel real cheated when you spam me with Drake. Please stop that. Thank you. Somebody else says, hey, Spotify, can y'all knock it off with the Drake spam? I thought the whole point of paying for premium was not to get advertisements. I might as well go back to using the web player with ad blocker and save my money. So Drake has basically done the same thing he's now accusing UMG and Spotify of doing. So it seems like what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Exactly. Now I'm starting to think that Drake's so-called sources may be J. Cole. Because if you guys remember J. Cole, aka Jermaine, he dropped Port Antonio, which to me was whack. It's like, sir, you decide to bow ungracefully.
I already went off on that reaction on Patreon, okay? It pained me to do that, but he pissed me off.
Keep the same energy. We didn't need a Port Antonio. That's why I didn't do a video on it. I was not impressed. I was low-key just annoyed, okay? But one of the lyrics in Port Antonio, remember J. Cole said this, Jermaine is no king if that means I gotta dig up dirt and pay a whole team of algorithm bots, nigga, just to sway the whole thing on social media, competing for your favorable meme. So he kind of hinted that basically somebody was paying for bots.
I think that was just known that they both have bots. And it's not even just them. I feel like all of these labels use bots for their artists. I think that's commonly known at this point. So he didn't say anything groundbreaking, or he's not revealing anything new that hasn't already been very well known, in my opinion.
For Kendrick Lamar, okay? So I'm thinking that's the talk between him and Drake. Because God forbid that the people just actually liked Kendrick Lamar's song. Like that cannot be a possibility. It has to be solely bots. Now, what's very interesting is that Joe Budden, DJ Mustard, and many others, you know what I'm saying, are talking about this currently.
Ooh,
so I'm going to go ahead and read their reactions. So they're all responding to Drake basically suing. So Punch TD says this, nah, the rap streets is done, shake my head. DJ Mustard replies back and he says, OMG, left my fucking ass off. Joe Budden says, right in time for Christmas, LOL. And of course, Mal, who does nothing but ride Drake.
Exactly.
He says the following. That petition has nothing to do with the battle. It has everything to do with business. But it's cool to hate Drake these days, I get.
You are a goofy. I can't stand Mal. Oh my God. How has he become so insufferable after leaving the Joe Budden podcast? I don't know how. What you saying is a crock of shit. Because if Drake won, he would not have been doing this. Hello. So that means it has everything to do with the battle. Like, common sense should tell you that he wouldn't be suing if he won the actual rap battle. He wouldn't. He would be chilling. But because he's salty, because he lost, that's why he's resorting to this. What do you mean it has nothing to do with the battle? Get off this man's penis. Jesus.
Then somebody else says, this kind of glazing has to be studied at a molecular level. And then Ma replies back, and he's like, look at your name. The person's name is at kdot.com. But, you know, Mal is always going to take up for Drake. He has some type of strange allegiance to Drake.
Y'all both glazed.
So what I find very interesting is I remember the bot conversation happening a few months ago. And even DJ Academics had to admit that he had some type of sources close to Spotify, and they were saying that bots were not being used. So let me go ahead and refresh y'all's memory right here.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I talked to my man from Spotify. I won't say his name right now. But legit Spotify nigga, he said, hey, y'all gonna be honest with you? I don't know what that person on your stream was talking about. Them Kendrick streams is real. That's what I'm saying.
What I did, I called the people that I know oversee those people that play like that. And I PTR'd it on my floor. They said, whack, we didn't work that, we didn't touch that.
So you guys just heard what DJ Academics and Whack 100 said, but Joe Budden took a different stance, and he is claiming that Kendrick Lamar used bots as well. So y'all go ahead and check this out.
Not only do I not care that he used bots, but I knew he did. Okay?
And let's be clear. Bad mayup. What the fuck are they talking about on this damn podcast? Let's be clear. Most of the streams could very well be real. I think that they are, because that song was massive. Everybody was playing it out. So I do think that a lot of the streams were genuine. But I do think that a lot of these labels use bots on top of that. On top of the authentic streams. I just do.
Cool. What else is there to... Y'all didn't know that Kendrick used bots?
No, and I
thought
didn't
that this was just the first time miraculously that a Drake record ever had more dislikes than likes, or you didn't know that was bots? Bots, to me, was a part of how you win the war versus Drake.
Yeah, this new age.
Hey, if you didn't do it, Drake was going to do it.
He probably did.
No, he did. But because he lost in the fashion that he lost in, There seems to be a select crowd out there that continues to not lose gracefully.
All right, so you guys just heard what Joe Budden had to say. So again, I feel like a lot of these rap dudes are feeling a way about Kendrick. Kendrick is out here doing his thing, and they are definitely feeling away. And it's sad that it's like that because, again, everybody has had their moment in the sun. It's interesting that when it's Drake, it's all good. And when it's Kendrick, it's all these conspiracy theories.
Okay, let's get into this second lawsuit that Drake filed.
Hey man, your man's Drizzy is going back to back with the lawsuits. After filing yesterday's initial lawsuit on UMG, Drake said, nah, that's not enough. Let's spin the block again with a second lawsuit. Now, yesterday's lawsuit on UMG was about UMG using bots, payola, and pretty much different methods to boost up the numbers for Kendrick's Not Like Us. Now, some people yesterday made the joke saying, yo, this is what Drake is mad about? He's not even mad about being called a quote-unquote pedophile on the record. Well, today, Drake heard you guys' criticisms and jokes, and he says, hey, you know what?
His eyes is glued to social media to see what people are saying about him.
Slap him with a defamation lawsuit. You guys are right. Thanks for reminding me about that one. Now, today, Drake launched a second lawsuit on UMG, accusing UMG of defamation and claiming they could have easily halted the release of a song that's falsely accusing him of being a sex offender. Now, Drake and his lawyer are alleging that UMG funneled payments to iHeart as a part of their pay-to-play scheme to promote the song on radio. He's claiming that UMG knew that Kendrick's song falsely accused him of being a certified pedophile and predator, but chose to release it anyway. If you guys thought the first lawsuit yesterday was wild, check this one out. Now, according to the lawsuit, UMG could have refused to release or distribute the song or required the offending material to be edited or removed. But UMG chose to do the opposite. UMG designed, financed, and then executed a plan to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit with the intent of using the spectacle of harm to Drake and his businesses to drive consumer hysteria.
This is why this is so much bullshit. You cannot force people to like something. Like they said in Lovely T TV's video, the people chose what song they liked better. Like the people chose who won. They chose Kendrick as the winner. They chose the songs they like better. So you're trying to chop this up to, oh, this was a plan. This was executed. Some men in suits in an office got together. They can't force the public to like or dislike some shit. That's not how this works. Sure, you can claim that they're fucking with the numbers behind the scenes, whatever. Instead of it being 500 million, it turns to 700 million, whatever. Sure, if you want to make that argument. But you trying to make it seem like, oh, they executed this plan to get Not Like Us out there and have it be this mega hit. No, the people just really fucked with it. Like, it was on at every party I went to, everywhere I went, cookout, whatever, everybody was playing that. And I mean, sure, I'm in LA, but even when I would travel, I was in Jamaica and they was playing, like, they played it everywhere. They meaning everybody. So it's so odd that he's trying to sue in this fashion. It doesn't make any sense. You're mad because people like the song? And it did well? Like, what? How are you blaming them?
Area, and of course, massive revenue. That plan succeeded.
And how can he even prove this?
UMG's wildest expectations. Hey man, is anybody else getting a good chuckle out of this like I am?
No, I think it's
so
sad,
because
honestly.
Kendrick's Not Like Us grew into a massive...
Drake has solidified the downfall of his career, in my opinion. I don't think he'll fall into irrelevancy. I think he'll still, be popular and be Drake, but he'll never be looked at the same. Just not even because he lost, but how he's handling it afterward. I think just makes everybody lose so much respect for him. People in the industry, fans, like it just paints him in this really, really corny light. And it's like, oh, everything Kendrick said about you was real. Was true. And so if the other shit he said about you was true, that you were Karen and you this and that, and you ain't for the culture, blah blah blah, then he called you a pedo, some shit. That shit might be true too. Hey, we real inclined to believe that. Even people who were skeptical about the accusation, they probably are like, look, nah, everything Kendrick said about you is true. Like, I don't know, you one of those, So I feel like Drake is really fucking up his career really badly.
That everybody rocks
his
with.
reputation is shot.
That UMG could have taken out the part where he calls you a pedophile. This can't be the same guy that made Back to Back and had everybody yelling at Meek Mill asking him, yo, is that a world tour or your girl's tour? Imagine if back then Meek Mill sued UMG saying, yo, you guys should have taken that part out of the song. It's hurting my feelings. And finally, in this defamation lawsuit, Drake and his lawyer are claiming that before UMG approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as his album art cover and music video, attacked the character of Drake by falsely accusing him of being a sex offender, engaging in pedophilic acts, harboring sex offenders, and also committing other criminal sexual acts. God damn, even Baka was not fucking with Kendrick saying Baka got a weird case, why is he around? This is just insane, man. I thought we were having a rap battle here. Mind you, Drake got just as dirty as Kendrick Lamar. Drake talked about his kids, his
Facts,
wife.
facts. That's a great point. You also made claims that, you know, hurt the character of Kendrick. You called him a woman beater. And that was allowed to be released. So what are you talking about? You played dirty also. And you have no proof. So if you want to be like, oh, he has no proof of this and he's making these claims, you also have no proof of what you're saying, and you made all these claims and talk about how, you know, his kid ain't really his, it's Dave's kid. Like, you did a lot. So again, you just mad because you lost. You did the same thing. Y'all both used bots, probably. Again, I don't know for sure, but that's just my speculation. And y'all both said some wild shit about each other. Y'all both defamed each other's character. So what are we talking about?
What Kendrick did, he kept it pushing and kept it rap. And Drake is not a stranger to rap battles. The man has been invested and personally pays URL battle rappers out of his pockets. So he definitely knows how this game goes. Unfortunately, this is what happens when the game doesn't go your way. Listen, man, you guys get in the car.
Yeah, this is incredibly corny. It's incredibly whack. You look like such a sore loser, bro. You lost. Just move on. You could have kind of bounced back from this a bit. If you just start putting out some fire music and, you know, got back to business, you could have recovered a bit. But now you just looking even more corny. You looking like a Karen. How you a Karen in rap? In the rap industry? I don't understand why you would resort to this. It's not going to change the fact that you lost. It just makes you look even worse. And it's having people clown you even more. I feel like the people clowning him, it starts to die down a little bit. But now you did this, it's back to an all-time high. Like, is your aim to look as corny as possible until people laugh you out of the industry? I'm confused what his angle is. This just doesn't make any sense, but sure. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!